some of the things that people do when they do travel. You travel for various reasons. Last year was when I chose to travel, it was more of like a type of travel. I just wanted to swim in the ocean. I don't know if a swim travel is considered as a holiday. This year was a party holiday. I partied every day. Every single day that I was overseas, I partied, and it was intentional. So wellness traveling for me sounds so exciting. It sounds like, you going somewhere specifically to fix your mental health, to work on yourself, to kind of get maybe your body in shape, your mind in shape, your spirit in shape, and it's quite exciting. And joining us for part two of the conversation. If you missed part one of the conversation, you can catch it on our brand new mobile app on Channel Africa. You can download it on any app store that you have, whether it be Android or iPhone or iStore. And you can search it there under the Oasis podcast. And the first part of the conversation was there, and the second part with Shao she's a Pan-African strategist, and she believes that the heritage and landscapes are the ultimate tools for restoration. Faye, such a joy to have you back. We are talking about wellness traveling. You touched on this yesterday.
Yes, well, good morning to you. Good morning to your listeners, and thank you for having me again. And I'm looking forward for a great conversation.
So, what is wellness traveling for those who don't know? And what does that look like, especially in the context of Africa?
All right, that is actually a very good question. And most people, they always trying to juggle around between wellness traveling and medical traveling. So wellness traveling, it's an intentional traveler. I mean, you're traveling, just the way you put it when you're opening the conversation. So it's traveling to upgrade your well-being and sometimes your wealth. Maybe you're traveling to find out new investment opportunities. That is for the business side of the things. But on a personal level, when you travel, when you're working on to a wellness traveling, it's you're traveling intentionally to heal your body, to learn new experiences, and to relax, to rejuvenate, to start the journey towards self discovery. So you're not sick per se. Of course, stress can be considered as sickness, but you're not sick per se. Like your body does not have, is not capable of doing anything, but you're just traveling to upgrade the lifestyle that you have already. Comparing to uh, medical traveling is that you're traveling to fix your body. You're traveling to fix a disease that is already developed in your body. So most people, they'll travel to India if they're considering for, I mean, affordability. Some they will go to Turkey, to the continent. Some will come to South Africa. So you're traveling to look for alternative ways of healing a disease that your immediate environment could not provide. But with wellness tourism, it can happen even in your next street. It's a decision that you make. You can even leave your office and just go
A
to
lodge.
the art gallery, to go to the concert. That is part of wellness traveling, because traveling is just moving from one place to another for exploration or for just learning new experiences. So that is the difference between wellness traveling. It doesn't really have to be an expensive affair.
Faye, I'm so glad you actually mentioned those type of activities, because I think people, when you hear the word travel, you start counting your coins. You're already like, okay, I need to save for 3 years in order to do this thing. So wellness traveling could be what would be considered the weekend activities. Going to a spa, going to an art gallery. Something that takes you out of your mind. What would be the reasons, and specifically for the mental health reasons for wellness travel, especially because I think we're living in a world that's moving really too fast, right? What would be considered a viable reason for you to consider wellness traveling?
Generally, travel itself, as it is that when you want to travel, you really have to decide why you're traveling, right? There must be quite a number of reasons that you want to travel. Maybe it's a routine annual plan, because people do have annual plans to travel or to visit a new place. I mean, every year or after every 6 months. That could be one reason. Number two, maybe you feel like you're worn out through work, or maybe anything happened to your family. You lost your friend, you lost your father, you lost your mother. Could be just a routine to say that in my vision board, that could be a reason. My vision board, at this point in time, I'm supposed to go visit a new place. Or you are in a space in your life that you want to start a journey towards self-discovery, right? Of course, stress I've mentioned, because if you're overworked, that can trigger you to travel. So those could be the reason. But to touch into the global community as to why now people are mostly considering wellness traveling. As I mentioned earlier, it's because it's now clear to the global community that 70% of death happen because of non-communicable diseases. And the COVID-19 also triggered a lot of awareness, because, we were locked in one place, the whole global community, and people now, they can listen. People can listen, and people were giving information as to how many people are dying, why are they dying, so people started to study and learn. So those are also things that make people to be triggered to say, what, when I'm traveling, I'm not just going to travel to wander and just to mark it, to tick my bucket list to say I've seen Mount Kilimanjaro, I've been to Serengeti, I've been to Table Mountain, I've been to God's Window. It's no longer about the world wonders. It's about, what is that destination going to give you? Or that travel, what are you going to benefit for your body, your mind, and your spirit? So it's a decision. The reason for you to travel through wellness, it's a decision that you have to make because of the situation that you are in.
I really enjoy what you're saying now, because I think we need to live a little bit more intentionally, especially where wellness is concerned. I think with a lot of the holidays, we take them for the sake of just taking them, for Instagram, and we want to be popular amongst our social circles. But the fact that one can actually use a good 2-3 days just for your own wellness, I think is pretty impressive. I really want us to dig a little bit deeper on that. Let's take a quick break. It is 8:40 Central African time. The conversation continues after these.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect.
Welcome back to it. We've just got about 19 minutes to go before we head to the top of the hour. We welcome the Tech Africa team. I see they're already looking smashing in studio. I don't know if everyone's wearing caps. Like, is this like a cap weekend or something? Like, did I miss an agenda? Like, is it maybe uncapped Wi-Fi? What's motivating this decision? 8:41 Central African time. So let's bring some experts into the conversation. We're talking to Shao, who is a Pan-African strategist. She believes in all sorts of traveling, especially in Africa. And we're talking about wellness traveling. And I'm glad you broke it down to the atom of the fact that you can do anything as long as wellness is included. And I like that. I like it because I think a lot of us overthink this thing of wellness and being keeping yourself fit and well in life. Let's talk to someone who is also kind of knowing of this type of industry that we are in. Busi Maluleka, who is the founder of the Baobab at Ranzu Spa and Wellness. It is trading as Ranzu Aesthetics Clinic. Busi, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us. Good morning. And thank you to your listeners or the viewers.
Thank you so much. Well, both. I think that's the nice thing about radio now is that we have both.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
let's talk about this. I mean, you run a wellness spa, so people come to you for all sorts of personal reasons under the umbrella of wellness. What are some of the common reasons why people visit your spa?
I think commonly we regard spa as a place to relax, reset, and just rejuvenate. But for us as spa owners, when you walk in the spa, we can already see quite a lot of things that might have been done in a different way. And I'm saying that because um, we give different services, and the main services that are mostly in demand is the slimming, massages, and facials. And with that, when somebody comes in, you can already tell that, okay, this one is overworked, or maybe they have things that they do that are weighing on their bodies and weight, and also nutrition and all those things. Like maybe when you come in with a face that is full of acne and all those things. So we can identify that there is a problem. But the common cause of it all, it's just a lack of taking care of yourself in any form. It can be how you eat your food, you don't rest, you're overworked, you don't sleep, all these kind of things. So they weigh in. So wellness, we look at it from our industry not just as luxury, but as a necessity that people need to start taking cognizance of and really, really be intentional about self-care, because it is part of, I would say, lifestyle for me. It should be like you eating, you doing exercise and everything. So you need to inculcate it into your daily.
And what are
Yeah.
some of the effects when you don't do that? When you don't take care of yourself, when you don't look after what you eat, what happens then?
Listen, I would just single out, if you don't take care of your face, which is like your the first thing that people see. And a lot of people will struggle with confidence, will struggle with showing themselves up, in spaces. But when it comes to to just massages, relaxation, and all those things, fatigue becomes the worst thing. And as a former corporate girlie, I struggled quite a lot, and I didn't understand what was the challenge, because you'd go to work, you push yourself, and you travel. I stayed in Pretoria, traveling to Johannesburg for years, and that weighed on me. And the day I fell in, so your body stops to protect itself. So the day my body just shut down, I didn't know what was wrong. When I went to doctors, they didn't know what was wrong with me until I went to a homeopath, who said to me, "Girl, what do you do?" Then I explained, this is my job and all those things. And then she took me through the process. 2.5 years, I needed to do that restoration of
Wow.
my body because I didn't take care of myself.
So,
And this simple thing as just going for a deep tissue massage or Swedish massage and all those things, it goes a long way, a very, very long way.
So I want to bring in Faye into this. The importance of the spa and wellness clinics in your travel. Faye, what has been your experience? Faye, come to the front, honey.
I'm here. I'm here. Yes.
Awesome, awesome.
All right. So I'm saying we actually relate to what Busi is doing, and just to bring your listener into perspective, what we're doing mostly is to awaken African tourism and hospitality industry as to what the current global market want. What Busi does is exactly what the global tourism market is looking for. And not only that, the reason why I partnered with Busi, it's because of the elements of African infused what do you call this, experiences that they have, and also even the product that they use, they're African infused. So the spa and wellness, that is what, if you just type wellness tourism in Africa or global, you'll get the statistics about which hotel has got the best spa experience in maybe Turkey or in Europe or in Asia or in America. So what what is in the market. But remember, what we're trying to do is just to bring awareness of the untapped potential for Africa as a continent in the tourism, in the wellness tourism market. Even in the conversation of wellness tourism, the update, the statistics, Africa is not there as a wellness destination, right? So that's why we are coming down and say, okay, let's just use different platform and having this conversation, and we appreciate that you're giving us this time so we can let people away. So we work with could be a spa, it can be a lodge, it can be a boutique hotel. We work with government ministry, we work with private sector, we work with tourism board to say, guys, the industry is booming. It's sitting under 1.6, I think, trillion dollar as we speak now. How is Africa contributing to this, right? So that being said, it means when it comes to Busi's industry, which is now the places that people can experience wellness when they visit a destination. So then we are just saying, can we make sure that whatever that is happening in those spas has to be African inspired, you know, so that we can have an inclusive economic transformation. When Busi, I'm sure last time we had a conversation and she mentioned something amazing that they're also partnering with traditional, I shouldn't say it's traditional expert. She's going to put it properly. I'm just using example.
Yeah.
Traditional experts on how to take care of a pregnant woman, how to massage a pregnant woman in African way.
Oh,
You see,
wow.
that is what we want to see in these spas. We don't want to just go to the spa and just get Swedish massage only or Thai massage only. We're saying we as Africans, we have our own way of healing our body, relaxing our body, exercising our body. How about we make sure that in all these wellness experiences that are happening in the market, if they're happening in Africa, we want Busi even to come to your salon and your spa and get drums as part of our background music. You know, so if we say all the five-star spas should have those African elements, it means we are stimulating a demand of African products, meaning our artists will make money. Our cooperative women, where maybe Busi and the industry getting those like herbs and all that, they will make money. So let's not just get into the trend and we don't have anything to give. That's all what we're trying to say. So that has been my experience, and I've been trying my best to support all the spas and wellness centers that are really considering African. There's one that I worked with in Zanzibar. They say charity begin at home.
Of
So
course.
in Zanzibar, they have this routine that they do for a woman that comes from labor. So because when you come from labor, apparently I haven't been there yet. I might not be the right person to talk about it, but they say when you come from labor, let's say if you're having your first child, it's very traumatizing because here you are, you have a new human being just came out of you now, and then you are very tired, right? And it's kind of like your body and your soul kind of like they are in at some point there's a mismatch, right? So in Zanzibar, they have this ritual, I can call it a ritual or
Yes.
routine
Yes.
that they will take this woman through so that she can now come back to herself. First, to bring herself to normal, like it's okay, you're okay, you're fine. And also to build a relationship between her and that new human that she brought to life. And now relaxing and healing the body. Right? So when I was doing this research and looking at the East African tourism, how it happens, a typical traveler, when they travel East Africa, they will start with Serengeti or Masai Mara, that regardless, they'll start with safari and then they'll climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And then after Mount Kilimanjaro, you're worn out. So I was looking at the body. It doesn't really matter whether you're from Leba or you're from Mount Kilimanjaro. You're completely worn out, and the experience is overwhelming. So what I did is to have a conversation with these women and say, why don't we package this experience for the tourists that are coming to Zanzibar? They are coming from Mount Kilimanjaro, because these people, they've been, it's their first time in Africa. They went and see all these animals, and then they went the top parts of the continent. Now they're coming to Zanzibar. How can we help them to go back to themselves? Just like a woman who's coming from labor. How can we heal the body because the muscles are worn out? So then that is a traditional way of doing things in Zanzibar, but we had to package it now. It's a product that is sold in the tourism sector. So that is the work that we do. That's how we want to see that whatever that is happening in the wellness tourism market, African traditions, they need to be packaged properly, priced properly, and we need to preserve our intellectual property. So in Zanzibar, we do have a Zanzibar massage that is specific for the person who's worn out, for tourists that is coming from Mount Kilimanjaro. But still, if you are totally worn out, you can also go there and get that type of massage. So that has been my experience, and that is what I would like to see more wellness center in Africa are having, and not just the yoga and meditation.
Faye, ladies, in fact, I think we're going to have to leave it there. We've run out of time, but I really do appreciate this, and also giving us a different perspective on how to navigate wellness. Busi, before you leave, perhaps a couple of details about where we can find your wellness clinic.
We are based in Pretoria, Garsfontein to be specific, and they can call us on 084-829-4545. And our website is www.ranzugroup.co.za.
Amazing stuff. Ladies, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope we have a happy wellness 2026. You know, where everything is just well. The mind, the body, the soul, the spirit is just well and in alignment. Thank you so much.
That's important. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. It is at 8:54 Central African time. Without wasting any time, Beleng.
Good morning.
How are you, doll?
It's raining outside, but I'm fine.